TV47. Happy holidays.
Well, indeed, it's always a pleasure for you to join us here at the home of Untold Stories. It is the 19th of December 2020 as we come very close to the peak of our festive season this year. Now, I am Mariam Mwacharo, and these are some of the stories we have lined up for you on tonight's TV47 Weekend News.
Doctors to join other healthcare workers on strike on Monday as talks between KMPDU and government fail to yield. Government has warned healthcare workers of possible job losses if they do not call off the strike. The late former cabinet minister Joe Nyaga and MP James Lusweti buried today in Embu and Kabuchai respectively. Also tonight, ODM leader Raila Odinga hosts the Council of Eminent Persons from Murang'a County at his home in Bondo.
Well, thank you for making time for this bulletin tonight. Now, doctors have announced that they will join other healthcare workers who are on strike from Monday next week, citing unresolved issues with the government. This even as Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe warned healthcare workers against downing their tools lest they risk losing their jobs.
The Kenya Medical Practitioners Pharmacist and Dentist Union KMPDU has issued a strike notice for all its doctors to down their tools from 21st December. In a statement to newsrooms, KMPDU says the strike is due to unresolved issues following 8 months of engagement between itself and the government and the lapse of the 14-day suspension of the strike. KMPDU suspended the strike on December 6th to allow for dialogue following the lapse of the initial 21-day strike notice that was issued on November 16th. The doctors have been protesting against inadequate personal protective equipment PPEs, delayed salaries, and the payment of risk allowances. The doctors have also been pushing for an independent health commission that will directly deal with their grievances. This even as Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe warned health workers who are on strike to go back to work or risk losing their jobs.
Those of you who may have been on strike to resume to avoid losing your jobs. Please do not lose your job as we go towards Christmas, as we go towards the festive season. Do not be the one statistic again who will be a job seeker next year.
The doctors now join nurses and clinical officers whose strike enters its second week. Meanwhile, the total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country has risen to 94,151 after 390 people were reported to have contracted the virus in the last 24 hours. 285 more people have recovered, totaling the number of recoveries to 75,559 as 4 others succumbed to the virus. Musa Salah, TV47, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, Kabuchai Member of Parliament James Lusweti Mukwe and former Cabinet Minister Joe Nyaga have been buried in Kabuchai and Embu respectively. Burials attended by high-profile leaders who mourned them, terming them as hard-working leaders and who have left great leadership gaps in the country. As Elizabeth Mutuku reports, BBI politics took center stage in the burials, with Deputy President William Ruto urging the BBI proponents to consider Wanjiku in their political ambitions, championing for referendum questions, while Musalia Mudavadi, among others, are calling for a unifying referendum.
Kabuchai Member of Parliament and former Minister Joe Nyaga have been laid to rest, with high-profile leaders attending the burials. Leaders mourning the deceased as two great leaders who served the country relentlessly. However, BBI politics found its way in the burials, with Deputy President William Ruto dismissing claims by leaders that multi-choice question referendum is a complex process for Kenyans.
Kama huyu mwananchi hajachanganyikiwa wakati ameenda kupiga kura, anajua atapiga kura ya MCA anajua ni nani. Atapiga kura ya mbunge, anajua ni gani. Anajua kura ya women rep, senator, governor na rais. Sasa kama mwananchi hajachanganyikiwa, anajua tofauti ya MCA na mjumbe, kwani atachanganyikiwa vipi ati asijue kani ni executive kani ni
Further, Deputy President urged the BBI proponents to supply Kenyans with BBI report copies in order to make uninformed decisions after reading.
Kwanza tuwaambie ni nini hiyo wanataka kusema yes ama no. Kwanza tulete nakala na copies ya kutosha. Kila mwananchi ajisomee ama asomewe mpaka aelewe katiba mahali gani inataka kubadilishwa, na ni kwa sababu gani, na ni kwa faida ya nani, kabla hatujamwambia sema yes ama no.
On the other hand, ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi and Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala called for unifying referendum.
Let us make our civil service work, because the debate around the BBI has gone on and on and on. And I can tell you for free, we are reaching a stage where you are paralyzing the public service, because one is looking and wondering, are you for BBI or anti-BBI? Let us put closure in a very well-organized way with broad consensus so that this matter is behind us.
This referendum will not be divisive, because the repercussion of a divided nation will be bad. I appeal that it must be a unifying referendum, or if none, no referendum, but a unity of purpose to build this nation.
This coming as section of Western leaders who attended Lusweti's burial in Kabuchai held the BBI, saying it will be a solution to the perennial problems.
The law is very clear. The independent commission, if you have a problem with the commissioner, you bring a petition to parliament, they look at the merits. Kazi ya Chebukati kuuliza budget because of verifying the signatures of BBI. He never made a mistake. Baba ila tukome.
Mwelezea bwana Raila Odinga, huyu Chebukati wacha amalize kazi yake. Sisi kama bunge tulipitisha sheria, tukasema wale commissioners ambao walikuwa wameresign watafutwe, waingie, alafu commission iendelee kufanya kazi kule mbele.
Na siasa yenu ya kutembea tu Western, Bungoma, Busia, Kakamega, hiyo ndio siasa mbovu ambayo imerudisha hiyo tunarudia. Kwani ni siasa gani?
The IEBC is expected to start the BBI referendum bill signature verification exercise anytime after Treasury released 93.7 million shillings for the exercise. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV47 Nairobi.
On other news, at his Opoda farm in Bondo, Raila Odinga, Oburu Oginga and James Orengo hosted the delegation led by Chairman Joe Kibe, where they expressed their support for the BBI. Raila Odinga said there is a great need for communities to come together for the greater unity of the country. Orengo said the two communities will continue working together for Kenya's sake.
This is really what BBI is all about, trying to create understanding among our people. It's not enough to say we have reconciled without bringing the people together. Two people can just go there and shake hands, not unite people. You have to facilitate integration, connections, and communication between the different parts of our country as we move forward. So as we get now into the BBI year, we are going to be doing more and more this going forward.
Handshake that there was then between Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was broken, okay? And it has taken so long before now there is another handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga here. And we Kenyans who understand this country very well, we are very happy that that is taking place. Because we shouldn't care where you come from, as long as you are a Kenya citizen. If you have got good ideas and you can lead us properly and all that, that's all we are interested in.
That we should continue talking to each other and exchanging views, and more particularly their visit here to invigorate Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga.
This opportunity to meet our brothers from Kikuyu land, not to conspire against other Kenyans. What we are doing is not to conspire against other Kenyans. What we are doing is to bring unity, because we know that there have been a lot of cracks between the Kikuyu community and the Luo community.
Moving on, leaders in Uasin Gishu County are pushing for the distribution of Building Bridges Initiative BBR report copies. They complain that many Kenyans are yet to read the document and therefore they cannot make an informed decision on it. Calvin Chitwa reports.
Speaking today at the Uasin Gishu Social Hall in Eldoret Town during the installation of Kiplombe Ward Representative Ramadan Ali as the Luya community spokesperson in the county, the leaders faulted proponents of BBI on what they termed as pushing the report on Kenyans.
Maneno ya kujiweka pressure ya mambo mingi tunataka kuondoa. Waacha walete hiyo tusome, tukiridhika tupitishe, ama namna gani? Tumalizane na hiyo bila pressure, uchaguzi kuje, tupige, tumalizane nayo bila pressure, tuendelee na mambo yetu kama kawaida, ama namna gani?
Governor Jackson Mandago said that there was a need for Kenyans to read the report and make informed decisions on the same.
In any case, hata hivi vitabu ya BBI hatujapata. Nyinyi mmesoma? Mumeona? Bas, hatutaki mambo mingi. Watu waongee huko wakubaliane, sisi tuwapitishie.
Uasin Gishu Deputy Governor Daniel Chemno and Tarbo Member of Parliament cautioned that the proposed 600 legislators will lead to over-representation.
Baadhi ya vitu ambayo it does not really add up. Mimi niambie tuko na wajumbe 640. Okay. Hiyo ni wengi sana.
Na ninashangaa milioni 93 tayari imepeanwa kufanya verification of signatures. My God, is that important? Hata tungalichukua tuongezea hawa wauguzi mwezi mmoja 5,500, tungepatia wauguzi 18,600.
They also said the BBI is not a priority for Kenyans now and leaders should focus on issues affecting the nation currently and solve them.
Uko na mzigo ya fuliza, uko na mzigo ya corona, sasa unaadiwa mzigo ya representation. Na hiyo hujauliza.
Jamii lisiposimama ujua hakuna maendeleo. Jamii lisipokuwa na mwelekeo mema hakutakuwa na maendeleo bora. Hiyo ndio kitu tunasema.
Calvin Chitwa, TV47, Uasin Gishu County.
Now the Party of National Unity is plotting a major comeback ahead of 2022 general elections. Today, former officials led by Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya and Laikipia Governor Nderitu Murithi held a consultative meeting with officials from Laikipia, Nyandarua, Nakuru and Samburu counties to chart the way forward on how to revive the party. They also drummed support for the BBI document, which they said was part of the party's manifesto.
And we have said we are not going to allow kutawala.
Nianze na mheshimiwa
na ile mheshimiwa CS ambaye
We are human beings. We are not perfect. So even the Constitution is not going to be perfect. Even after these improvements, the Constitution is not going to be perfect. But it will represent our best endeavor to build a Kenya that works for everybody. Our best endeavor to build a Kenya that works for everybody. Ukiwa mfugaji, ukiwa unalima maharagwe, ukiwa unalima waru, ukiwa unatengeneza tuk-tuk, ukiwa wewe uko na kiosk, ukiwa wewe ni Mkenya. We want a Kenya that works for everybody.
Hii ajenda ni kuleta Kenya pamoja, kuleta inclusivity at the national level. Face of Kenya iwe hapo kwa national level. Hii mshahara tunaambiwa itakuwa kubwa. Prime Minister told deputy sure they want to make Kenya bankrupt. Kitazama ile pesa hutumika huko kwa serikali. Tuko huko, mimi niko kwa agriculture. Mkiwa pesa ile wewe inatumika huko ni mingi, iweze kuwa itamalizwa na mshahara ya prime minister who is already an MP. In fact salary yake itakuwa ya bunge, ni allowance atalipo ya kazi. Yala ndipo salary yake itakuwa ya bunge, atakuwa mbunge, ni mshahara ya allowance. Ndio hiyo haita bankrupt Kenya. Ile muhimu kama italeta peace, Kenya iendelee mbele. Community na jamii za Kenya wote wasikie wanahusika, wako hapo, itatupeleka mbele.
Now, more news, including sports, after this short break. Remember, you can join in the discussion on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Is at TV47 Kenya. Do not go too far.
Ebindaya tanu, ebindaya moyo, ebindaya time, ebindaya nguma, kwataka wayaka kwateka view. Hey, what's up? My name is Movie, and thank you. For the last 3 months, we've been watching Coffee with Movie. Nasema ni asante, nashukuru. Thank you for the suggestions, for the opinions, for the suggestions of who you want us to have, and the better ideas of how we can modify this show to suit you as best as possible. Nataka niwawish Merry Christmas, Happy Brand New Year 2021. Au sio? It will be bigger, greater, fuller, excellenter. Au sio? I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New 2021, yo.
We let you take us through your journey.
The report of the scan came out. The doctor told us that the scan is showing my baby had already passed on.
I don't like people standing too close to me. I don't like people standing behind me.
And give hope after beating all odds.
We don't choose how we are born. We don't choose how we are raised. The choices we have in this life are virtually limited.
Only on Confessions with Maria every Saturday at 8 p.m.
Sunday yes, Sunday mwami. Mtumishi hapa papa unichasero baya niweze kumushinda shetani. Sunday yes. Tuko ndani ya TV47, don't move, usisonge, pakia hapo na tuna hang out na Coffee with Mbufi na tunaelekea wakati wa Christmas. Please share. Ukiona kakitu tu, pitia mahali wachia mtu na utachaswa na roho ya TV47. Papa unichase roho, niweze kumushinda shetani. Sunday wacha nimalizie chai. Ebindaya seyo, ebindaya tanu, ebindaya moyo, ebindaya time, ebindaya nguma, kwataka wayaka kwateka view. Hey, what's up? My name is Movie, and thank you. For the last 3 months, we've been watching Coffee with Movie. Nasema ni asante, nashukuru. Thank you for the suggestions, for the opinions, for the suggestions of who you want us to have, and the better ideas of how we can modify this show to suit you as best as possible. Nataka niwawish Merry Christmas, Happy Brand New Year 2021. Au sio? It will be bigger, greater, Fula. Excellent. Au sio? I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New 2021, yo.
This is TV47. Happy holidays.
And we're back. Thank you for staying tuned. Now, for the third night running, Nairobi City County will be without a governor to fill the shoes left by ousted Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko. This is after the swearing in of City Hall Speaker Benson Mutura as Nairobi Governor in acting capacity was rescheduled to Monday next week after failing to take place yesterday. David Mudhoka has the details.
Residents of Nairobi City County will have to wait until Monday 2 p.m. to have Nairobi County Assembly Speaker Benson Mutura as their new governor, albeit in acting capacity, according to the Assumptions Committee, tasked with setting the change of guard in motion. This means Nairobians will spend a third night and the weekend without a governor following the rescheduling of the swearing-in ceremony to 1:30 p.m. on Monday, despite being gazetted to take place yesterday. The judge tasked with officiating the ceremony and who was traveling from Mombasa failed to arrive on time, prompting the Assumptions Committee to abort the swearing-in.
Kulingana na function hii, iweze timika zaidi ya saa 8 na sekunde moja.
Mr. Speaker,
it has been a race against time to fill in the void left by impeached Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko.
I vote yes.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Sonko was axed from office by the Senate on Thursday night after 27 out of 46 senators voted to uphold the ouster of Sonko at City Hall earlier this month. The impeachment was gazetted an hour later before a consequent gazettement of Mutura swearing in on Friday morning. Mutura is supposed to take charge of Nairobi County for 60 days as the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC prepares for a by-election within that period. Had Sonko had a deputy, his succession would not have gone the Speaker way. The deputy governor would have assumed office for the remainder of the term, which ends in 2022. Sonko's only second in command, Polycarp Igathe, resigned from office in January 2018. This comes as impeached Sonko continues to adjust to the feel of life outside government. In a Twitter message posted earlier today, Sonko states, quote unquote, "As I said before, there is life after politics, and I am excited to go back to my life and to be with the ordinary people who have been supporting me all my political life." Jerusalem. It remains uncertain whether Sonko will contest in the Nairobi by-election, despite him suggesting in another tweet, quote unquote, "The greatest tragedy in life is not getting knocked down. The greatest tragedy in life is refusing to get up after being knocked down. Today I may appear down, but I am not, because I know my victory is soon coming back."
Party after party, after party, after party.
Reportedly, Sonko was stripped of his security detail and official cars yesterday, while police officers manning his homes as well as council askaris were also recalled. He is the second governor to be impeached 10 years into devolution after former Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Ndung'u Waititu. David Mudhoka, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, urban youth across Africa are starting to create alternative opportunities to the formal employment options their parents built their careers on. Some say the push to choose the path of engineer, doctor, or lawyer is no longer as strong. And that is the story of tattoo artist Barrington Kangwana. Joan Maina reports.
Welcome to the Barry Arts Tattoo Studio in Nairobi.
Barrington Body Tasker Kangwana, its owner, has been inking and piercing bodies for a dozen years. He says he is sought after because of his signature style.
Tattooing is like someone's signature. So, like, let's say like someone's handwriting. So some people get interested, like they like someone's handwriting more than, yeah. So maybe like with my different form of art, I just have this passion of making it a bit different, in a way that I can't explain, in a way that many people got interested in knowing how Barry is doing, how Barry Tasker is doing the art.
And it was not by accident. Barrington says his love for art started at a young age.
When I was growing up, I used to draw a lot of things. So like maybe during the day when I move around and maybe see a picture somewhere, normally every day I had to go home, try to sketch something from what I saw during the day.
Derek Hamisi is one of Barrington's clients, and when it comes to body art, hygiene takes precedence. Hygiene is a key element of operations here.
I've known him for such a long period of time. Hygiene wise, yeah, like needles, for example. When you do it like in a random place, you don't know where people get their things or stuff like that. But for like his things, even before you get the tattoos, it normally shows you where they're new, he opens it, and yeah, things like that.
Even though urban youths across Africa are starting to create alternative opportunities to the formal employment options their parents build their career on, some say the push to choose the path of engineer, doctor or lawyer is no longer as strong. Barry Tasker is a pioneer, though he stopped pursuing a degree in architecture in 2008 and says he now has a massive repertoire of tens of thousands of tattoos to show for it.
Architecture is more formal, maybe tattooing is more on the other side. So I picked tattooing because tattooing is it's a form of different art that moves around, yeah, compared to like the other arts. So normally we move around. Been to Thailand, been to Nigeria, been to States, been to UK. Just because of the tattooing, been to South Africa, been to different countries. Normally we get bookings, and then we accumulate a number of people, and then they cater. Some of them cater for the flight and accommodation and everything. Yeah.
Well, that's a very interesting story right there, Joan Maina. Well, an unknown number of thugs broke into Magarini Member of Parliament Michael Kingi's house in Serena area of Malindi town on Friday mid-morning and stole valuable items. It is alleged that the suspects raided the house through the rental house door and made away with valuable household items. Police have launched investigations into the burglary.
Suspected burglars broke into Magarini MP Michael Kingi's house on Friday at around 11 a.m. and carted away household items such as mattresses, beds, gas cylinders, cooking pots, plates and everything that was on their site.
Majangili hawa sijui kama walikuwa na nia gani, kwa sababu waliba vitu hata ambapo huwezi dhania kwamba mtu anaweza iba. Sababu waliiba paka mattresses za vitanda, wakaiba hata jiko, mitungi ya gas, wakaiba hata masufuria, wakaiba hata masahani.
Michael Kingi was not around when the incident happened. The MP received a call from the landlord's wife informing him that there was a tenant who had called and informed her that his door has been broken.
Nilipata simu kutoka kwa mama moja ambaye ni bibi ya landlord yangu hapa Malindi, nyumba ambayo mimi nimekodi hapa Malindi. Na akanielezea kwamba kuna one of the tenants ambaye ashampigia simu mlango ile apartment yangu umevunjwa na ni kama kuna vitu vishatolewa na vingine vinatolewa.
The legislator says he does not know the motive of the burglary and the police have already launched investigations into the matter.
na mimi nadhani kwamba tutajua nani ambaye aliiba vitu hizi ama nani ambaye anaweza kutumia hawa vijana ili kufanya kitendo cha wizi kama huo.
Kingi pointed out that he has never witnessed such a brutal act even before he was elected as Magarini MP. Joanne Maina, TV 47.
Well, we're taking another short breather here, but do not go too far as we'll come back with more news.
Ebindaya seo, ebindaya tanu, ebindaya moyo, ebindaya time, ebindaya nguma, kwata kawaya, kwata view. Hey, what's up? My name is Movie, and thank you. For the last 3 months, we've been watching Coffee with Movie. Nasema ni asante, nashukuru. Thank you for the suggestions, for the opinions, for the suggestions of who you want us to have, and the better ideas of how we can modify this show to suit you as best as possible. Nataka ni wish Merry Christmas, Happy Brand New Year 2021. Au sio? It will be bigger, greater, fuller, excellenter. Au sio? I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New 2021, yo.
We let you take us through your journey.
The report of the scan came out. The doctor told us that the scan is showing my baby had already passed on.
I don't like people standing too close to me. I don't like people standing behind me.
And give hope after beating all odds.
We don't choose how we are born. We don't choose how we are raised. The choices we have in this life are virtually limited.
Only on Confessions with Maria every Saturday at 8 p.m.
Sunday yes, Sunday mwami. Mtumishi hapa hapa unichasero bayayi niweze kumushinda shetani. Sunday yes. Tuko ndani ya TV47, don't move, usisonge, pakia hapo na tuna hang out na Coffee with Mbufi na tunaelekea wakati wa Christmas. Please share. Ukiona kakitu tu, pitia mahali wachia mtu na utachaswa na roho ya TV47. Hapa unichase roho niweze kumushinda shetani. Sunday wacha nimalizie chai. Ebindaya seo, ebindaya tanu, ebindaya moyo, ebindaya time, ebindaya nguma, kwata kawaya, kwata view. Hey, what's up? My name is Movie, and thank you. For the last 3 months, we've been watching Coffee with Movie. Nasema ni asante, nashukuru. Thank you for the suggestions, for the opinions, for the suggestions of who you want us to have, and the better ideas of how we can modify this show to suit you as best as possible. Nataka ni wish Merry Christmas, Happy Brand New Year 2021. Au sio? It will be bigger, greater, fuller, excellenter. Au sio? I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New 2021, yo.
We let you take us through your journey.
The report of the scan came out. The doctor told us that the scan is showing my baby had already passed on.
I don't like people standing too close to me. I don't like people standing behind me.
And give hope after beating all odds.
We don't choose how we are born. We don't choose how we are raised. The choices we have in this life are virtually limited.
Only on Confessions with Maria every Saturday at 8 p.m.
Sunday yes, Sunday mwami. Mtumishi hapa unichasero bayayi niweze kumushinda shetani. Sunday yes. Tuko ndani ya TV47, don't move, usisonge, pakia hapo na tuna hang out na Coffee with Mbufi na tunaelekea wakati wa Christmas. Please share. Ukiona kakitu tu, pitia mahali wachia mtu na utachaswa na roho ya TV47. Hapa unichase roho niweze kumushinda shetani. Sunday wacha nimalizie chai. Nebindaya seo, ebindaya tanu, ebindaya moyo, ebindaya time, ebindaya nguma, kwata kawaya, kwata view. Hey, what's up? My name is Movie, and thank you. For the last 3 months, we've been watching Coffee with Movie. Nasema ni asante, nashukuru. Thank you for the suggestions, for the opinions, for the suggestions of who you want us to have, and the better ideas of how we can modify this show to
This is TV47. Happy holidays.
Well, thank you very much for staying tuned. If I may just take a couple of your comments here on Facebook. Paul from Kitale Chepkoyo, as well as Patrick Njogu, says that they're tuned in as usual, and I'll take more comments later after the bulletin. Now, the Kenya Tea Development Agency Limited has declared a 734 million shillings dividend for its smallholder tea farmers for the financial year ending 30th June 2020. This year's declaration represents a 15% increase from the previous year's dividend of 683 million shillings and comes on the back of enhanced green leaf production over the same period, which led to growth in total revenues of the year to ensure farmers benefit from the tea value chain. KTDA has established subsidiary businesses which have led to this increased revenue. Commenting on the declaration, KTDA Holdings Limited Chairman Peter Kanyago said group revenues grew last year, driven mainly by increased tea sales volumes. Increased tea production rather led to high stocks at the peak of COVID-19 and exerted considerable pressure on working capital within the group. He added that the company is continuously working on addressing the cost of production to enhance farmers' earnings. Smallholder tea farmers under KTDA management delivered 1.45 billion kilograms of green leaf for the period under review, up from 1.13 billion kilos the previous year. On other news, the National Council Churches of Kenya (NCCK) has launched a new technology well known as Farbosite as a new method of reaching out to farmers using their mobile phones, a method that is expected to help mostly the farmers from semi-arid areas. Starting with Tharaka Nithi County, Farbosite will enable the farmers ask questions concerning their farming and get an immediate response from the lead farmers through this new technology. Over the years, farmers from different parts of Tharaka Nithi County have been experiencing low production on their farms, but through this intervention by NCCK, new farming methods have been implemented, thus increase farm production.
Mambo basi poa. Baada ya kunywa chai forestry. Okay. Sasa kila kitu kiko kwa hii. Sasa inafunguka.
Is how best do we reach farmers, and of course technology and also using media was one of the key strategy that then with consultation that we agreed this needs to be done, and from there we began a strategy to educate farmers, equip them with the infrastructure, ICT infrastructure like better phones and other things. And then also now begin training on that to help them get information online. So currently we are working with the Dan Church Aid, who are partners who have helped us develop this learning site. And then we have our Canadian partners, Canadian Food Grain Bank, through the United Church of Canada, who continue to support farmers.
In the wards that we are working in, but also beyond, because the learning site reaches out to wider audience. So through this site, we are sure that we are going to reach out to people far beyond Tharaka Nithi County with the content that is in that site.
Kulingana na vile hali ya anga inakuwa, tukilinganisha kilimo ya samani na kilimo hifadhi, tunaona mkulima ambaye amefunzwa maneno ya kilimo hifadhi, hata mvua ikikaakaa kidogo, mimea inaweza vumilia, sababu kama mkulima amezingatia mambo mane ambayo tunawafunza, yale tunazingatia kwa kilimo hifadhi, inasaidia mmea kuvumilia njua.
Moving on to news across borders, the government of Rwanda has told Caroline B. Maloney, a member of the U.S. Congress, that Rwandan justice system is independent and terror suspect Paul Rusesabagina's arrest was based on key facts that not only are in the public domain, but that he has not disputed. Diana Iriza, our correspondent in Rwanda, has more details.
The response comes after the Congresswoman Caroline Maloney sent a letter addressed to President Paul Kagame on 14th December requesting for the release and return to the United States of Rusesabagina. In his letter, December 16th, the Minister of Justice and also Attorney General Johnson Businje reminded Maloney that the Rwanda Investigation Bureau and the National Public Prosecution Authority have in the past clarified in court and to the media that Rusesabagina was not kidnapped or extradited. He departed Dubai voluntarily by private jet, and when his plane landed in Rwanda and he voluntarily alighted, he was placed under arrest pursuant to a 2018 NPPA arrest warrant. Businje told the Congresswoman that Rusesabagina is not the only suspect. He reminded that Rusesabagina is alongside 18 others who were charged by NPPA with 9 serious charges, including formation of an irregular armed group, membership of a terrorist group, financing terrorism, murder, abduction, armed robbery, attempted murder, and assault and robbery, all as acts of terrorism. Rusesabagina has himself on multiple times admitted to funding and fundraising for FNL MRCD, a militia outfit that made incursion into Rwanda at different times, killing people among other atrocities. Paul Rusesabagina, alongside 18 other terror crime suspects, will be tried at the High